Are you ready for the 4K revolution? I know I am. I know tons of people around here are extremely excited for the next step up in pixel density, but the question is your hardware ready? Are you ready?
So before I talk about this unassuming, minimalist package, let's do a rundown about the current state of 4K resolutionness in general, just in case you're not already caught up. So 4K is a new standard that refers to 4 times a 1K display, which is actually 1080p. But for the sake of brevity, we call it 1K for the rest of this video. Seriously, we're gonna call it? No, we're not. So that's a 2x2 arrangement of 1080p resolution displays for a total of 3840 by 2160. Another term you might have heard for 4K is Ultra HD or UHD, which is the same thing. So what can you do with 4K resolution? Right now, not a whole lot. Movies are just 1080p on Blu-ray, and some online providers are starting to provide 4K content, but really there isn't a lot of it. Television is even less than all that. It's often 720p or less, and next gen, or current gen, or whatever you want to call it, gen gaming consoles like the Xbox One and the PS4 max out at 1080p and are often less for graphically intensive games. Now, it should be noted that although the content isn't 4K, the monitors will sample up the picture to match the resolution, and higher-end 4K displays have dedicated hardware to scale up the image, including removing noise reduction and anti-aliasing to remove jaggies and all that, and it does have an effect, but it's obviously not the same as having legitimate 4K content, and something to notice that processing does take time, so it's not something that I would normally want to use for hardcore Twitch gaming, whereas it is something that might be beneficial more for like movie watching, for example. Content producers like video editors or users who need to have a lot of productivity and a lot of screen real estate to spread things around are really going to appreciate the extra resolution. I mean, being able to natively edit in 1080p while still having access, like your preview window could be 1080p, and you'd still have access to all your controls and UI elements and your timeline and all that stuff, that's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, think about this. If you subdivided your computer desktop with something like Display Fusion, you would effectively have 4 1080p monitors with literally no bezel and very high pixel density. That's something that no amount of slim shady bezel monitors and beefy monitor stands can really replicate. Displaying pictures is also an amazing experience where it looks more like a window rather than seeing a display, at least presumably. We supposedly don't have these open yet, although they obviously are actually open, seeing a display. People who have compared Retina or other high-density displays compared to their previous generation phone will understand this feeling. And seeing your DSLR shots at much higher resolution and with more clarity is really quite stunning. Finally, if you're a gamer, you are in for a treat, because with the right hardware in your PC and properly coded games with high resolution textures, gaming hits that extra level of quality. Now for the bad news, though. That hardware is going to be very expensive. Sorry, I don't know if you caught that or not, but we're just going to keep going. We actually have 3 today. Yes, 3 of these 4K monitors. So we are going to do our best to see if we can get some hardware from Team Green and Team Red to see if we can't get an NVIDIA Surround and Eyefinity benchmark roundup for you guys very soon. But unfortunately, that won't happen in this video. All right, so back to the box that I've been patiently waiting to open while I ramble on. That's in the script, but I didn't wait. Back in May, when I released my 4K Tech Quickie, the cheapest monitor was a 32-incher costing over $3,500. That's old news. Enter this bad boy, the Samsung U28D590D. This beast is a 28-inch monitor coming in at it says do not unbox on the script, so I'm gonna do it. Is a 28-inch monitor coming in at, oh, that's probably why they didn't want me to do it, at an aggressive $599 price point. Actually, NCIX had a full pallet come in last week, and they sold out instantaneously. This monitor is an extremely hot commodity, but if you can't get your hands on one yourself, then watching us do this is probably going to be the next best thing. All right, hold on. Don't cut that camera. I know what the script says. We are gonna show this baby off. Look at that. There she is in her glory. And now I will let them cut the camera so that we can actually put a thing on the display. That makes sense. Ooh, look at the back. It's all brushed. So here it is, guys, in all of its 4K glory. As I said before, it is a 28-inch monitor, but not only does it come in at an attractive price point, it is also a gaming-capable monitor. Yes, it is 60 hertz, and it has 1 millisecond response time rating. Now, the monitor itself has a non-standard removable stand, and when we posted this on Reddit, the lack of a vase mount was quite a point of contention. But honestly, you know, not everyone is going to put their monitor on an aftermarket stand. So if you're the kind of person that just only needs tilt functionality because there's no pivot, there's no swivel or anything like that. If you're someone who only needs tilt functionality and you're willing to use something like a little aluminum stand that you can sit your monitor on if you need to raise it up, then this will work out quite well for you. And if you're someone who's buying a very value-oriented monitor, the odds of spending a couple $100s on a really nice stand for it are pretty slim, so I can understand where Samsung was coming from with this particular design. It also helps them keep it very slim. See, there you go. And very minimalistic looking as well. So speaking of the slimness, it is 6.5 centimeters deep, 66.1 centimeters wide, and with the stand, it stands 48.6 centimeters tall, with 17 centimeters of depth on the stand right there. On the back of the monitor, you'll find 2 HDMI ports, which allow you to either run in 4K resolution at 30 hertz, or, and here's a neat trick, run 2 1920 by 2160 portrait displays, one from each input. You can also use them for picture-in-picture mode, for a floating secondary display in 480p, 720p, or 1080p resolution. But if you want to run just one connector and get the full 4K 60 hertz experience, you will need to use a DisplayPort 1.2 connector and cable. Finally, there's a 3.5mm audio out jack and a DC power in port. Now, Samsung is saying that it is capable of 1 billion colors, but we weren't able to get a straight answer as to whether it's a 10-bit panel or an 8-bit panel with a 10-bit lookup table. Either way, you'll be getting better than 8-bit performance, at least on paper. Looking at the panel, the color performance is not an IPS panel. It's not PLS. It's not VA. It is a TN panel. We do get some color. Sorry, Mac Pro. We do get some color shift. It's a Freudian slip right there. It's not actually a Freudian slip, but you know. So you do get some color shift. There you go. You can really see it there, but it's not that bad. I'd say it's on the better side of TN panels, but it isn't IPS. In terms of the actual panel uniformity, again, it's not the best I've seen, but what this monitor is, and this is all it claims to be, is an inexpensive entry-level 4K 60 hertz monitor that is gaming capable and comes in at a very aggressive, unprecedented price point. So that just about does it for our overview of Samsung's 4K monitor, a peek at really what I would say is the first 4K gaming monitor that I've really had my hands on. You can check out the link in the video description if you're wanting some more info on the monitor. And guys, make sure you subscribe, because in our follow-up content where we take some of these and run some benchmarks and all that kind of cool stuff, we will have more time to give you our real impressions on how well and how quickly it processes images and how well Samsung is actually delivering that 1 millisecond response time to make for a great gaming experience. It's just that this is like, we just got our hands on them. We wanted to make this video right away. So guys, make sure you stay tuned.